RPG Golf, or RPGolf as an idiot trying to sound funny would call it, is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's an RPG, it looks like it was made in RPG Maker, that is open world, but it's also a golfing game. But fear not, as developers promise, quote, "We took particular care to make sure that the two games are not just something slapped together to make some innovative game. We are taking particular care, again, into mixing the aspects of both games together to give you a unique, fulfilling, and incredible experience." Smiley face. They then follow that up with a wonderful example involving balls, monsters, and a lovely walk through nature. You will have to walk to your ball, no more teleporting, and finally some healthy walks immersed in nature and surrounded by monsters. And you will have to fight them if you want to free your path and become stronger, because by becoming stronger not only your level will go up, but also you will make more damage while fighting and you will shoot farther while playing golf. You may notice English doesn't appear to be the developer's first language. Who is the developer again? Surprisingly, they kind of don't say. The person attached to the campaign is a guy called Castellanovo, and their two team members, they appear to be based in Osaka, Japan, formerly somewhere in Italy, it seems. They do have a company, they just don't state the name of the company for some reason. Also, they say they're working on more than just games. Here's the quote. "Let's cut to the chase and introduce ourselves. We are a small company located in Japan, Osaka to be precise, and we make games. Mostly, but more on that later." Luckily, their name is listed on the title screen of one of their screenshots, RPGolf. They show their logo in the trailer too, so I guess it's not a big deal, but I still find it odd they didn't say it anywhere on the page itself. Anyway, I looked these guys up, and they released some games and apps before. Some of those standouts include Hair Garden, Quizza Summer, and Sword of Sales. You'll also find some Italian stuff on there as well, which is where I assume that came from before. You'll also find some of those other activities, like web design and app development. It's nothing particularly worth talking about, but I figured I'd do some digging just in case. Why, besides them forgetting to tell us? Well, more on that later. Just kidding. They actually never clarify what they mean by more on that later, so I really don't know what they were going for. Are they setting up a sequel already? I don't know. The game itself is a cross between golfing and traditional retro role-playing games. It's a top-down view of an NES or SNES RPG like Final Fantasy, and you have to battle monsters by playing golf. I guess the point is to bore your enemies to death. They talk a lot about the things that'll be in the game, listing a whole bunch of features. I'll just give you some of the highlights. 9 or 18, help us! Whole open world featuring different environments. They don't really say what those environments are, though. Handicap system to increase replayability. The HCP of the player will be recorded play after play. Lower HCP levels will unlock areas in the game and give you access to unique quests, features, and items. I don't really know what HCP stands for, maybe it's just handicap. I'm not sure why you'd get more quests and new areas if it's lower. Surely that means you get more stuff if you're bad at the game. Maybe they're going for the golf scores. You know how in golf the person with the lowest score wins. Club's forging system. Grip head and shaft. Ooh. Combine them in different ways when visiting workshops around the world to create the ultimate club. What? Multiplayer mode. See below. Multiplayer is a stretch goal for $65,000. It's not gonna happen, basically. Normally with a campaign setup like this, I would say they didn't do a great job of explaining the gameplay, but they do show us a trailer and the text does just say enough. In fact, I'm kind of going to say the opposite here. I think I've seen enough, thanks to the trailer, to say that this is basically just an action RPG with some golf in it, despite what they were saying earlier. The golf elements don't really shine through when you're going up against the monsters. It just seems like you hit the ball, walk to it, whack some enemies with your club on the way there, and then hit the ball again. I'm not really seeing a connection between the golf and the RPG. It does look fun though, I'll give it that. It's a great way to spice up an otherwise boring game of golf. I don't like golf, has that come across yet? What exactly are we paying for? The campaign asks, one of 8 times they use the word exactly. Artworks. The artist that works with us already owns our houses, laptop souls, and any material possession we have. That's unfortunate. You might want to call an exorcist rather than start an Indiegogo, but that's just me. Also, we need to eat while we work on the game, or we will starve and there is no way we can complete RPGolf, and that would be sad. No? And let's not forget about our amazing soundtrack. With your help, we can work full-time on RPGolf without having to work on other projects to survive ourselves. We want to develop this game more than anything, and with your help, we can really make it happen. What they're saying is that they're being held captive by some kind of ghost artist, and that they have to collect money to keep it happy, otherwise the ghost will starve them to death. Truly a horrifying tale. They really do need our help. What exactly are the risks? Like every other project in the world, there will be problems, but that's only part of the fun, right? Not if it's our money, no. The game is already in development. The core mechanic of the game is there. What we need is the stability and reassurance to really put our full time into this and complete it. And you have our word that we will make the impossible and more to deliver what we promise here. It shouldn't really be impossible for you to deliver what you say you're going to deliver, guys, especially if you already have the core gameplay done. I'm sure you mean you'll do everything you can to release the game at a high quality and on time, but your wording could lead some to the wrong conclusion. For the reward tiers, we have quite a lot, actually. Several books worth, as a matter of fact. For $1, you'll get your name listed on their website under a thanks section. $5 will get you the game on mobile. $10 will be some Indiegogo exclusive outfit for your character. $15, which is the featured reward, will get you the stuff at the $10 and $5 tier, as well as a digital soundtrack. $20 will get you the full game on PC, no word on Mac or Linux, sorry. I could be here all day talking about these rewards. There are a lot of them, including a massive $10,000 reward tier. Pretty ambitious, guys. That perk only gets your mug in the game, by the way. We come to the end of this little presentation now, but not before we talk about the elephant in the room, who's burst into flames and has started to ask for help in 7 different languages. You might have spotted this earlier. If so, good for you. Pat yourself on the back, you cocky prick. The game has only just gone past its $10,000 goal, and it took 2 months to do so. Except it hasn't, really. You'll notice there are only 33 backers as well. About 8 days ago, at time of recording, someone named LIG mysteriously donated $8,800 to the campaign, bringing the seemingly dead game back to life. Unfortunately, LIG is pretty vague, and I wasn't able to find anything about them or any connection to ArcticNet. They're one of a few backers whose profile is set to private, so no luck there either. Whoever it was didn't go for the big 10 grand perk, but oddly, they didn't claim the $1,000 perk either. The studio makes no mention of this mysterious donation, only thanking fans for supporting the game and celebrating that it was funded. Look, I'm not gonna speculate on this. It's a little odd, sure, but I don't see any sign of wrongdoing by the developer. This could be a case of someone donating an absurdly high amount and pulling out at the last minute, but that never works. I mean, that's pretty unlikely. There are a couple of people that gave massive amounts of money that have only ever backed this campaign, some of them from Italy and some from Japan. They could be friends, they could be family, it's hard to say. I wasn't able to find any proof of wrongdoing though, but I obviously think it's something at least worth pointing out. As for the game itself, I like what I see. I'm not in love, but I definitely see potential as a fun little thing to mess around with for an hour at a time. Especially if they could find a way to better marry the golfing and RPG mechanics. I wish they showed off more of the game, but I guess I can understand why they didn't. It seems simple enough, and over-explanation wouldn't have been any better, I don't think. Now, a demo, that would have been nice, since they said they have the core mechanics already. The graphics are pretty good in the typical 16-bit-ish way any devs seem to be in love with, and the soundtrack reminds me of those old-school NES RPGs, the kind of whimsical, fun-loving, free-spirited thing, and I'm not a music critic, I have no idea what the hell I'm saying. It sounds good in my ear holes, as did this video. Patreon is painless. It brings on many changes. And I can subscribe to the Cliqist YouTube page if I please. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Through early morning fog I like the Cliqist Facebook page. I even subscribe on Twitter. And I meant to say follow. Ooh, Patreon is ow!